Hey everybody, this is Christopher Small, and this is another episode of The Unconventional Attorney. I am your host, Christopher Small. I think I already said that. And this show is dedicated to you, to me, to the unconventional attorneys out there that are doing things different, treating clients different, getting clients different, and just trying to live our best life. Before we get going, as always, I want to uh, remind you that this is free and make an ask. So, the only payment that I request if you enjoyed this podcast, if you enjoyed this episode, is subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. It helps me out, it helps people find this podcast, and it can help you out too because every 25 reviews that I get, I give out a 10 pack of my most influential books. And I got to tell you, I just swapped one out today that I've been reading. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And it is a great, great book. That's one that's going to be in that 10 pack. As of the recording of this episode, there were 49 reviews. So we're one review away from doing another drawing. And once you get in a review, you're open for all the drawings. So I don't just take the last 25 reviews, I take everybody. So please go do that. Go to iTunes, rate, review, subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And, you know, hopefully you'll get a little message from me that says, congratulations, you won the 10 pack. Okay, but today we're going to talk about, by the way, you may notice if you're watching this on video, if you're listening to it on audio, hopefully the sound sounds good. Been working on that. I heard your comments and your pleas for help, and I'm doing my best. But if you're watching this on video, you're probably noticing that I'm not in my office. I don't have the usual background. All the KU gear is gone. There's a reason for that. Right now, I am in Kansas City. Today, specifically, I'm going to a buddy's birthday party. But while I was here, I had a couple meetings with some people and have some new, interesting law firm business opportunities to pursue. So that's where I'm at. I'm at the Fontaine Hotel right now in Kansas City. It's really, really nice. It has a rooftop pool, so it's legit. But that's what I'm doing. That's where I'm at. But the content doesn't stop. This is maybe lesson number one for this podcast, which is don't make excuses. If you're on vacation, it takes 10, 15 minutes to make a piece of content like this. Don't stop. Just keep making them, keep pumping them out. They'll work for you. Okay? But today, let's talk about something that is near and dear to many of your hearts, and that is how to get clients now. This episode is going to apply, by the way, whether you are new, like a new attorney just starting your firm, if you are an established attorney and you're having a slow period, to anybody in between. The reason is these client acquisition methods are universal. They'll work no matter what. All right, so let's just dive right into them. I can also tell you that I use them now. I use these strategies now, and I used them when I first started my firm. They work both times, okay? Number one, this one is free for the most part. It's cheap, I guess. It's not technically free, but it's pretty darn cheap. And that is networking. Let me tell you how I network, because it's a little bit different, I think, than what a lot of people do. I never go into any networking meeting to begin with looking for a quid pro quo relationship. I can't typically send a lot of referrals out. The conversations that I have don't flow as easily. They do happen from time to time, but like a financial planner, they're having a conversation with everybody that's like, do you have life insurance? Do you have retirement plan? And do you have an estate plan? And somebody says no, then they say, I got somebody that you can talk to. For me, it's a little bit difficult, and this may be an internal thing, and trust me, I've thought about this and struggled with this, is going from them to a financial planner to a referral to me is a little bit easier than me having someone come in and say, hey, let's do our estate plan, and me saying, hey, go talk to somebody about all of your money. Now, it's probably a limiting belief that I have and a rule that I'm making that's completely untrue, and I need to work on that. But that's where I'm at right now. But the point is, I never go into these relationships promising quid pro quo or expecting it, because that's just not how I roll. But when I do my networking meetings, this is what I do, especially at the beginning. First, I cast a wide net. I just Google financial planner and I start calling everybody, trying to have coffees. And I do this because you don't know who's good and you don't know who's bad. And we need to define who good is and who bad is at the same time. Good for me is someone that is generating new business. I don't care if they're young, old, work for Edward Jones or Morgan Stanley, doesn't matter to me. They just need to be generating new business. They need to be lead generating, right? The reason for that is because when these new people come in, that's typically when they're going to have these kind of conversations. I also want somebody that's just out there hungry and doing some of the things that I'm doing. It makes our conversations easier. It gives us a lot more in common. And those are also just the kind of people that I want to hang out with. So that's number one. Cast a wide net. I'm trying to just set as many coffee meetings as I can every day. When I first, and this is especially if you need clients, right? Don't mess around and do like one or two a week. I would have like 2, 3 coffee meetings a day. I would just pump them up back to back to back to back. Where I would have, it was crazy. I would have somebody come in and we have a 30-minute meeting. We talk, chat, and I would set the next meeting on the back of that meeting. So the other person would literally come in. I would introduce the two of them, and then the first guy would leave, and the second guy would come in. And I would just do that over and over and over again. The reason for that is it's a volume game. Like I said, you can't tell who's good and who's bad. So you just got to talk to everybody. The other cool thing about doing them back to back like that is if you get somebody that's like a talker, or that you don't like, you have an easy out because your next person is coming in like right away. So that's step one. Schedule as many meetings as you can. Step number two, look for people that are generating new clients. I also have a rule, which I guess is rule number three, is I typically only work with people that I like. So if we don't get along or I don't think they're cool, I just don't talk to them. Like we only have so many relationships that we can maintain and keep up and give the attention that they need. And I want to do that with people that I like. But there are people that you like that you can find that have shared interests that will send you business, but you just have to find them. So when we get and have these meetings, I typically ask them about their business, about their personal life. But what I'm really looking for is, are you generating new business? Are you interested in talking about your business? And do we like each other? I want them to like me too. So that's networking, right? That's it in a nutshell. Not sexy. It's simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Just go do it. You'll get better the more that you do it. Okay. Number two, this one involves a little bit of money, but it has an immediate return. We are talking about Google Ads. Google Ads, as we all know, you get to jump right to the top of the search engines. This is SEO on steroids. Literally, this is organic search using illegal substances, which is money, right? In Google's algorithm. So what you do is you get on Google Ads, you create an account, you put your keywords in, you create an ad, and when somebody searches, for example, Seattle estate planning attorney, I pop up at the top. And the beauty of it is that people are searching for everything all the time. So you can get immediate exposure to people that have immediate needs and are looking for immediate help, which means you can get immediate clients. That's what we like. So with Google Ads, it's really quite simple. I'll tell you the keys. So key number one is you've got to do a quick down and dirty learn about how to structure your keywords. Now, I have a course in the Inner Circle that you could go check out if you want. It's unconventionalattorney.com/inner circle. Pretty simple. But that is my group. But I have all my content, all my courses are in there, and go check it out. But with Google Ads, keywords are very important because you don't want to be showing up with a bunch of keywords that you don't need or want. Like, I'm an estate planning attorney. I don't want people calling me for landlord-tenant law or even business law, real estate law, nothing. I want them calling me for estate planning. That's it. You could do that with Google Ads. The next thing that you got to do is you have a good ad. The way that I create my ads, and this is maybe a little, I don't know, gray hat, is I'll just Google like Seattle estate planning attorney, and I'll look at everybody's ads, and I'll say, oh, I like that. That looks good. Oh, I like that part of that ad, and I will just take the best of all of these different ads and put them together into my best ad. The important thing to remember, though, when you're doing Google Ads is you want to talk about benefits, not features. Benefits to estate planning, for example, are like you protect your family, save time, we're fast, we're simple, feel good about yourselves. Features are 30 years of practice, like whatever else you might say, free consultation. These are features. Benefits are what people get people to click. That's Google Ads. Turn that on. Number 3, and this is also an easy one. This one's probably pretty free. You have to pay for your email client, but you don't even have to do that. You could just use your email and send out single emails if you want to. But we're talking about just reaching out to your people, to your network, to your family, to your friends, to everyone. The key here is that you're not soliciting business from them. What you're going to have to do is create some content, but create that content with the strategy of trying to create some urgency for someone. What that means is, you might talk about, are you going on vacation and you don't have an estate plan, you want to protect your kids, blah, blah, blah. You want to do something that's going to get someone to read that email and say, oh, that's me, and I need to take care of this right now. What I would do with that is I would send an email maybe every other day, start checking in, make it very conversational, and then work in some lessons in the middle. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's it. Okay, those are 3 ways to do it. If you if you like this information and you want more, if you want to go faster, if you want me to read your emails, look at your Google Ads, do all that kind of stuff, you can have access to that in the Inner Circle, which is the unconventionalattorney.com/inner circle. So go check that out. All right, that is it for today. As always, if you like this video or episode or whatever, hit the like button, hit the share button, let somebody know that this exists if they need to hear it. If you have a question or comment, please leave it. And last but not least, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on iTunes if you can. And enter that, feel good about yourself, by the way, for kind of paying it forward for this podcast, but also enter yourself into that 10-book giveaway. Okay, that is it. Thank you so much for your time, for listening, for taking action. I am Christopher Small. I'm the Unconventional Attorney, and we are done.